low 80s under partly sunny skies. Sanji, WGSO. The Broadmoor Arts and Crafts Festival is celebrating 52 years of holiday cheer with a family fun day filled with amazing vendors, delicious food, handcrafted jewelry, unique holiday decor, perfect gifts for everyone on your list. Bring the kids for a winter wonderland, games, Santa, and a petting zoo from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Saturday, November 22nd. Admission only $3 at the Baton Rouge Broadmoor High School Arts and Crafts Festival, Goodwood Boulevard, Baton Rouge.
The views and opinions expressed during this show are those of the host and guests only. In no way do they represent the views, positions, or opinions expressed or implied of WGSO 990 AM or North Shore Radio Incorporated.
All right, New Orleans, welcome to the Jack Clegg Show here at WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, where you can listen to the audio podcast of our program, or YouTube, where you can find the Jack Clegg Show. It's actually called the Jack Clegg Show channel. I actually have a channel. Isn't that neat? Anyway, and you can watch us. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. All right. Well, lots of stuff this week, and I've been looking for several days at some of the stories to educate us as to what's going on. And it looks to me like many of the things that instinctually we think are happening are really happening. And often you'll listen, like 3 or 4 months ago, when they started talking about these No Kings marches that were going on all over the country. Okay. And they said, they were funded by Soros, who's the boogeyman, according to everyone, and so forth. Well, a story, before the show, I was going through some of the more recent stories that's out. And one of the stories, it was published by Fox News, so it may have its right-wing side of it, but they interviewed some of these folks. The folks I'm talking about are folks that are those who organized the No Kings rallies. Okay, they're some of the more vocal and open groups. Now, there still may be hidden groups, there still may be other things, but these are the open ones who go there. Okay. And the group in particular, there were 3 groups, and one of them was Indivisible. That's the name of the group. Okay. So this, and it's a left-wing group. Now, when they say a left-wing group, that means there are many socialists, some that want communism back in the world, and particularly bring it to the United States. They hate capitalism. Okay. What they're plan to do right now is this is pretty interesting. And this article that was out about 3 hours ago says, here is the list of people that we are going to put our money against in the Democratic primaries and run these people in 2026. And then they listed the various guys and girls who voted with the Republicans to stop the reopening of the government, or to begin reopening the government, stop the closing of the government. I'm sorry, I'm crazy. These are the group are the Democrats who voted with Republicans to end the shutdown. Okay, these guys, they don't say why, but they were against Schumer. And apparently Schumer's now, he's thrown all in with the left wing, at the furthest left wing. And so they listed all of these folks that they're going to try to primary. Okay, here is the list. And it's pretty substantial. Okay. John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. No surprise. We've seen Mr. Fetterman come forward and sound like a reasonable person. So they're going to primary him, get him out of there. They're going to try to get him out. Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada. She's a Democrat. Jean Shaheen, another Democrat from New Hampshire. She's usually pretty straightforward. Again, someone who was moderate, but voted with Republicans to reopen the government. So she's now targeted. Maggie Hassan, another Democrat from New Hampshire. I don't know Maggie. Jackie Rosen, a Democrat in Nevada. Okay, the next. This is really interesting. Tim Kaine, Democrat representative of Virginia. Okay, Tim Kaine was the running mate of Hillary Clinton when she ran for president, remember? And this senator who joined, when I said representative, senator, this senator is the Senate Minority Whip, Dick Durbin, a Democrat from Illinois. I've known of Durbin for 2 decades. He is a fixture. He's the head of Judiciary Committee and a solid Democrat. But these individuals voted with the Republicans to reopen the government, and now they are being attacked by their own party. So we see what people have suggested is a civil war, and it's not necessarily American against American, but it's liberal left-wing members of the Democratic Party opposing those Democrats who, in representing their own constituencies, believe things like closing down the government is harmful. And they join the Republicans in taking the steps to reopen the government. So all of our information we were getting that there is a far left. The far left, to me, had a great victory with Mr. Mondami in New York City becoming the mayor. And we know what he said. And we also know that this is a huge position of very young people. Not all young people, but many young people who are certainly dissatisfied with Republicans, dissatisfied with moderate, and they want some radical change to the government. Change things such as capitalism. And now they could go to other countries and do this and maybe hope for success, but I don't think it's going to happen here. Anyhow, that's one of the topics we're going to talk about today. There are so many else going on. We're going to talk about AI and the real fear that I'm developing about AI. And it's the same fear that I know exists today with this. When I say this, those of you watching YouTube, it's this. It's the cell phone. And it's when the cell phone technology began and it was merged communications with the internet, and your children and you yourself were exposed to people who meant you harm. Jack, how can you say that? People that meant us harm. Yes, people that meant you harm. People that wanted your money in your account. Scams and fraud are at the highest level they have ever been in our country. And it's no longer people who are either in the mafia or some criminal organization. They're online videos showing people how to take money out of your account. This is real. And we're going to talk about that today. One of our topics is there was a guy who was arrested for being a scammer. He did a lot wrong. entered a plea deal with the government, and part of that plea deal with the Secret Service was, remember, the Secret Service is involved in fraud and currency fraud and counterfeit money, so forth and so on. This gentleman, and he has an article, we're going to talk about that later, has set out how huge the scams are. And so on one hand, you have banks and everybody telling you to bank online, telling you we need more digital currency, we need more digital commerce. So at the same time, we have people who are taking advantage of it. So we'll talk about that today as well. Our call-in line is 504-556-9696. And I'd like your opinions about this, folks. Am I overstating it? Or am I talking about things that you didn't know would happen but are actually happening now, particularly toward your own finances? Okay, Jack Clegg Show. We'll be back in a few moments with inning number 2.
Just drooping on down. All that cement is just, it's there for the wake. Yeah. 5 will get you 10. Old Mackey's back in town. Now did you hear about Louis Miller? He disappeared, babe. After drawing out all of his hard-earned cash. And
are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion. The 17th Annual Oak Street Po' Festival, presented by Tony Sacheries, will be Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. More than 40 food vendors will serve over 100 versions of this city's iconic sandwich, along with an art market, VIP area, history panel, expanded kids zone, and sponsor activities. Live music on multiple stages will include George Porter Jr., Tony's Boys with Tony Hall featuring Ivan Neville, the New Orleans Legacy Coalition, and Rodney Weber. Please visit po'boyfest.com to purchase a wristband and for more information.
Hi, this is Susan Bernicker bringing you a new show, Health Connections, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. when we explore health from doctors, researchers, scientists, naturopaths, pharmacists, authors, fitness, and more. You'll be able to call in and ask your own health questions. So join me, Susan Bernicker, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. right here on WGSO 990 AM with Health Connections.
Round these parts,
Pass will go out there and it's intercepted.
the game of football
Hammered back at the 29-yard line.
is all
Caught at the 15-yard line. 10, 5.
the rage.
Touchdown, Louisiana.
It means everything. It really does.
This is your radio home for Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns football.
Catch all the action of Ragin' Cajuns football this season, only on the community voice of the Crescent City, WGSO 990 AM.
Broadcasting from deep within the Louisiana Purchase, beneath spacious skies, overlooking the fruited plain, and smack dab in the land of the free. The American Ground Radio Program with Louis R. Abalone and Stephen Parr, where freedom grows. Listen each weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Abalone and Stephen Parr, here on WGSO 990 AM.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Hello, this is David Jeremiah. Join me each weekday morning at 4:30 or 5:30 a.m. for Turning Point on the community voice of the Crescent City WGSO.
I'm pet trendologist Charlotte Reed. Listen to the Pet Buzz airing every Saturday at 6 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM, the community voice of the Crescent City.
oh, cantare. Oh, let's fly way up to the clouds. Away from the maddening crowd, we can sing in the glow of a star that I know of.
All right, folks, it's the Jack Clegg Show. You are all being treated, and I want to thank my dear friend, Jeff Gibson, who I said one of my favorite baseball players of all time. I thought one of the best athletes that ever played baseball was Bob Gibson from the St. Louis Cardinals. And my producer's nodding his head. He agrees. I mean, anybody who's a baseball fan knows that Bob Gibson was just outstanding. Well, we've got our own Bob Gibson, but it's Jeff Gibson, the singer. And as you heard at the end of the break a little moment ago, and at the music introducing inning 2, Jeff Gibson is singing absolute fantastic songs from the Rat Pack era. That would be Mac the Knife, you just heard, which was a Bobby Darin song. I think Sinatra sang it. Jeff does his version, which is absolutely terrific, in great honor of all those past musicians. And so opening up part 2, we had Volare, which was a Dean Martin song. What a great song. So again, thanks to Jeff Gibson, the Bob Gibson of New Orleans music. Is that fair to say? Yeah, that's fair to say. Yeah, it is. And his restaurant, he doesn't own it, but he's a co-owner of, on Harrison Avenue, the Desi Vega. It's not a hamburger joint. I'm going to call it a hamburger joint. It's prime rib and prime beef for burgers. Really, really good. Outstanding. But Wednesday night, Jeff plays. And if you like the kind of music that you're here, go in there on a Wednesday night, and Jeff's usually there about 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock and singing live and all these great songs. Okay, let's get our caller on who's been holding religiously. Matthew, how are you today?
Well, I'm glad you said religiously, because I'm praying that you can answer a legal question for me.
Well, wait a minute. I need your address so I can send you the invoice for my fees.
Ooh.
I'm joking. I'm retired. I do still work for people who hire me to help them, but I don't practice. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, that's because you've gotten so good you don't need to practice anymore.
There you go.
So, as you may know, that I lost a pair of sisters-in-law earlier in the year, one right after the other.
Oh, boy.
And they both died without a will.
Oh.
One of them is the sole owner. Well, they both were, because it's Napoleonic law stuff,
Sure.
they're both owners of the house that my third sister-in-law is living in and stands to inherit. The problem that they're running into is that the judge who is in charge of the succession won't release the paperwork. Will not just give the stamp and say, yep, I've looked over everything, you're good to go. The judge just keeps sitting on it, going through it with a microscope, contacting various legal foundations to find any holes, and then finding something requiring a $300 revision. And all. So, one, is the judge guilty of misconduct? And two, what is it that they can do about it? That won't cost more than the house that they're trying to.
Well, that the last part is often the most significant, and that is, should you spend a whole lot of money to get relief, which is a little bit of money? Okay, that is often a issue to be addressed by individuals trying to decide what legal action to take or not take. So I on the second issue on that, I cannot give you any advice, because that's going to be personal. Do they believe there's a principle in play here? And even though it may not turn into money, are they some people are so well off, they will fight for a principle. I don't know if that's the case here. Okay. Let me go.
Assuredly.
Yeah. Let me go back. First thing, I know a little bit about estates, primarily because I've been involved in a couple of them, but my knowledge is kind of limited to the language in a will and how a trust might be created or not created, and so forth and so on. Whether the actions of the fiduciary are misconduct or whether they're appropriate actions. There are a lot of rules in each state, and they're not all the same. There are a lot of rules in each state as to what the fiduciary can and cannot do. Okay, and the fiduciary, it's the same as when you invest money with someone. That fiduciary has that asset. They cannot and are not supposed to sell it or mortgage it or trade it without the approval of the court and the other beneficiaries. To do that, it's called self-dealing. And most states, if you do it secretly without the court's approval, it will overturn the transfer or the transaction. It's void. It goes back into the estate. And whatever money was put up or paid for often either gets returned, some penalties are imposed against the fiduciary for his misconduct or her misconduct. You're talking about, I believe you're talking about an intestate successor, right? That the person who died did not leave a will. Okay.
So it wasn't on their to-do calendar before they died.
Right. Well, it could have been on it. They just didn't get to it, whatever it was. Okay. And I presume everyone who's involved concurs that there is no written will. You know, there have been cases where somebody wrote a will and they stuffed it in a drawer. They signed it. And it was used to determine where the property went in probate. So, just the tiny thing. This I know isn't the question you asked, but one tiny thing is make sure you look through all the documents the person has.
They have been thoroughly searched.
Okay.
Like with a fine-tooth comb, and then we arranged to have an electron microscope look through it.
Right. The next question, and I'm going to get to, and this is the one you asked about, and I'm avoiding it because I hate to be ignorant of the law, but I have to say I am specifically ignorant about a judge in an intestate succession, as we call it succession here in Louisiana. It's called a probate in other states. When there's intestate succession, what time there are, in many places there's a limited amount of time the court has to deal with it. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. We have 20 seconds left before we take a break. Matthew, will you hold on, and I'll get to this in a minute?
This is not the only thing I want to talk about.
Okay, well, we'll be back in 10 seconds. This is the Jack Clegg Show, signing off.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion.
Big Easy Pet Shop and Rescue is a non-profit volunteer-run rescue. We provide adoption services and care for homeless animals across the New Orleans metro area. We also offer pet supplies and grooming services at our downtown and Marigny locations. The shops are located at 839 Spain Street and 513 Dumaine Street and are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and noon to 6 on Saturdays, noon to 5 on Sundays. We can be found on the web at BigEasyPetShop.com. Support local animals in need by shopping and adopting with Big Easy Animal Rescue.
Hey, do you ever wonder who really listens to talk radio? Or even, who is this new Lisa and why are we going live with her? And what does it mean to be unscripted? Hey guys, my name is Lisa Leonardi and I am the new talk show host of Live with Lisa Unscripted. My show is about living our unique NOLA life with a touch of inappropriateness and a ton of side-splitting laughs to get you home every Monday at 4 p.m. here on WGSO 990 AM.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Jeff Palermo. LSU interim head football coach Frank Wilson says quarterback Aaron Nussmeier has re-aggravated an abdominal injury sustained in preseason camp, but he's still expected to start against Arkansas tomorrow. Wilson says if Nussmeier's injury is more severe than originally thought, Michael Van Buren will start at QB.
If we have to start Michael, if it got down to that, we feel that he's fully capable of doing so. But as of today, Garrett will be the starter going into the game, and we'll monitor his progress.
This week, Louisiana House Speaker Clay Schexnayder was indicted on felony charges as Attorney General Liz Muriel accused Schexnayder of stealing a rare state artifact, a 20-foot-long cypress board harvested from a tree believed to be more than 1,000 years old. It was last seen hanging in Schexnayder's legislative office in Gonzales. But Schexnayder says he didn't take it and does not know where it is. Legal analyst Franz Borghardt says unless there's evidence Schexnayder took the board, it's hard to prove guilt.
And I don't think this is going to be a slam dunk for her.
LRN.
Ready for some fun? The Louisiana Lottery's got 4 new games where you can scratch your way to winnings. High fives all around. Scratch up some fun by playing Fun Fives from the lottery. Win up to $5,555. Turn your day into a fun day with Fun Fives. Triple the thrill, triple the cash. Hit the jackpot feeling with 777. Win up to $17,777. Jackpot vibes are here with the power of 3. Play 777. Are you naughty or nice? You decide and play Naughty or Nice Bingo. Win up to $30,000. Jack's wild, and so are the prizes. It's the coolest card in the deck. Play One-Eyed Jack. Top prize is a whopping $100,000. More games, more fun, more ways to win. Louisiana Lottery, giving you a reason to smile. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
WGSO is proudly supported by Holidays New Orleans Style, presented by French Quarter Festivals Inc. and NewOrleans.com. This December, enjoy free concerts at St. Louis Cathedral and Woldenberg Park. Don't miss Leroy Jones and New Orleans' Finest on December 3rd, and the Christmas concert on December 21st. Then, ring in the new year at the New Orleans Eve concert on December 31st. Details at fqfi.org/holidays.
Hey folks, the Mike Church Show is moving back to mornings. Faster than you can say, LSU is CWS and Jello Shot World Champions. 6 to 7 a.m. on WGSO and CrusadeChannel.com.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, our 11th season as host of Breakfast with the Bayou Bengals every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 live at Mahoney's Po' Boys in New Orleans.
Get ready, boys and girls, and all you flashback freaks. Here's what we promised you. It's what New Orleans loves best, oldies, but not the kind that you can dance to. It's the voices of talk radio hosts back 25 years ago when it all began. You'll hear old commercials, newscasts, PSAs, but most of all, the voices of Larry Regan, Ed Butler, Keith Rush, Nutty Jeff, even threw in Jeff Coulier there. Callers back then also were the celebrities. So be sure to join us Saturdays at 11 a.m. with Jude Booth.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, every Thursday at 4 p.m. live on WGSO Radio New Orleans, talking Saints football in our 16th season of In the Red Zone. We'll be live at Premier Nissan at 6636 Veterans Boulevard, where Metairie meets Kenner for another exciting season of Saints football live on WGSO Radio.
Join me, BJ Rust, every Saturday night for the Something to Say radio show on WGSO 990 AM and streaming live on WGSO.com.
Oh, the shark bait has such teeth, dear. and it shows them pearly whites, just a jackknife as old MacHeath did, and he keeps it out of sight.
All right.
When that shark
Again, thanks, Jeff. Good music. That was Mac the Knife, originally sung by Bobby Darin. I don't know who wrote it. I can't tell you who wrote it. Great tune. Okay, Matthew.
Yes, sir.
Are you dancing?
No, but I was tapping my feet.
Good. I'm glad you like Mac the Knife too, huh?
Mac the Knife, there's a few of those, like Volare, though. Every time I think about that, I think about Khan trying to sell me a Chrysler.
Outstanding. Okay. During the break, I looked, and okay, again, as I said, I'm not a keen understander of Louisiana practice regarding intestate succession.
Right.
That's when there is no will. Okay. Testate refers to the testament or the will. Intestate means there ain't one. And so you said there ain't one. Okay.
No.
Now, there are general rules that apply, and this is not only in Louisiana, but many other states. Depending upon the size and value of the estate that is left. In Louisiana, and again, this is all, they're legal guideposts, but not requirements, okay? A quick, simple succession is characterized as a succession with $125,000 or less in assets.
That should be this one.
Okay. Well, under the guidelines provided in Louisiana, that should be taken care of in about 5 or 6 months. So I can't answer why it's taken so long. But one of the more significant reasons is the person who died, were they married?
No, they were not.
Okay, so it's just her own assets. Did she have children?
No, she did not.
Did she have parents?
They passed a long time ago.
So who would be her, I'll use this term, which is not a strictly legal term, but you know what I mean. Who are her next of kin? Her sisters?
Her sister, the one that survived.
Okay, so
who was
there's,
actually trying to get possession of the house.
so there's only one sister left.
Yes.
Well, it should, and your instincts are good. It should be fast. It should be faster. Did the sister hire a lawyer?
Yes, the lawyer is frustrated too.
And he should be. As I looked at during the break.
The case with a full head of hair.
What's that?
He started the case with a full head of hair.
And now he has
my
less.
haircut.
Well, I don't want to get too personal during the phone call and whatnot. You know how to get in touch with me by email. If you want to send me a question or two by email, I'll try to get to you later next week. But at this point, your instinct is right. This should be quicker. I don't know the problem, and perhaps we can talk later about that, but I don't want to do that on the air if you don't mind. It's probably not a good thing.
I can understand that. That's totally understandable. This is not handled on the law.
Right. Okay. So you said you had other questions unrelated to the passing of citizens.
Yeah, this is more to do with the future of the republic.
An important issue.
To be sure. There's a caller, Ginger is her name, on Jeff's show this morning. And she made the statement that she does not know what kind of a world she's going to be leaving her grandchildren.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, well, yeah, that's a good question. What kind of country is this going to be for her grandchildren?
Yeah.
And one of the things that has me concerned is Donald Trump's thing. You saw the videos I sent you from the Lotus. Donald Trump's thing about the H-1B1 visas.
Sure. Sure.
and the Infinity Indians that will be supposedly flooding the country.
Right.
Now, to be sure, it's not that simple. Just because you want to lower wages doesn't mean you are automatically going to spend $100,000 to get a H-1B1 Indian in.
Sure.
But they come and this is supposed to be a temporary work thing. They don't leave. They start to change the culture around them. Next thing you know, they are spreading little Hindu enclaves all over the place. And they're like, oh no, not another enclave. And that's got people like torqued off, because part of making America great again was to make it great for the people who are living here now. Now, I understand the business interests of they don't have the people with the skills they need now.
Mm-hmm.
So I do understand that. And if they're just coming in to train us in these skills and then they leave, I'd say, great, take what you've learned here, apply it at home, such as, sewer systems. And we could, say, thank you for coming. But it doesn't look like they're going to be leaving.
Right.
That's an issue.
Yeah, I fully and completely understand the topic. In fact, one of my topics for today was what has happened to assimilation.
Now, I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, we were just starting to assimilate black and white together, and then something happened, and that split apart.
Right. So let me give you what I was going to talk about, and it may help you understand, but it certainly doesn't. It doesn't. What it does is identify. I think I've identified why assimilation is not working. I hate to say this, and I really do hate to say it, but it's pretty simple. Okay. If you move from from Jakarta, or from Mumbai, or from any other urban area outside the United States to the United States, and you had talent and so forth, and let's say this was 40 years ago, right?
Right.
Okay. When you moved to the United States, you had pretty much one choice: assimilate, that is, become an American.
Yeah.
Do American things, speak English, and most of those people did speak English, or they learned how to speak at least passable English, and that's good. Okay. But everything else, because you were so far away from your home, and you theoretically were busy here in America with your work world, because of a B1 visa is for working. Okay, so you were here, you were focused on your job.
And you were busy as a B1.
Right, busy as B1, yeah. So, but something's different today, isn't it? For instance,
there seems to be a lot of differences. A lot of the people who we see coming over seem to be developing. They're all becoming millers.
Well,
they all mill around.
Well, I'm going to say it's something else.
Not all, obviously. If they're working, I wouldn't see.
When you made the decision to leave Mumbai, or to leave Jakarta, or to leave some foreign capital that you were raised in, and move to the United States, you were pretty much expected by most people here and most people there to cut your ties with that former country. But that doesn't happen. Now, you can go home from work, turn on your laptop, and conduct a free conversation with your family, your friends, whomever you are. You don't have to go out and meet new friends here in America. Your friends are still there. They're online. 40 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, you didn't have that. You could send a letter, or you could try to make an expensive overseas phone call. Those things They prevented you from doing it. You were here. And in your free time, you're expected to assimilate. But you don't assimilate here. And as you mentioned before, the milling around, when there's more than one or two or three here, it's easy to be in touch with one another online.
Yeah.
So that didn't exist 40 or 50 years ago. You might know, oh, well, somebody from my neighborhood is in Milwaukee and I'm in Greensburg, Tennessee. And, maybe we'll call every once in a while. You could every night after work go home and exchange emails and texts and video chat with them, which didn't happen before. You couldn't afford to do that. Today it's free. It's literally free. So we have to look at this issue in an absolutely new way. We have to consider that the people who come here, in the past, the default position was assimilate. You had to assimilate, That's where you got your emotional support. That's where you got friends. That's where you had all that. Well, today, it's not necessary. You could be here and criticize everybody you're working with online, and nobody's going to know.
No, not unless they're in the same group chat.
Oh, exactly. So what we're going to do right now, I got to go in 10 seconds. We'll continue this if you want at the next level, because there's some other issues that I want to talk about. Hold on.
America's schools are closing, which can be especially tough on students who struggle with poverty, hunger, and trauma. But Communities in Schools can help. Our organization puts caring adults inside schools to help vulnerable students stay in school. Now, in the face of crisis, we're working beyond school walls, delivering meals to students, helping them access remote learning, doing whatever it takes to help them succeed. To learn more, visit communitiesinschools.org.
Tired of waiting for dinner? Meet Brava, the revolutionary countertop oven that uses pure light to cook your food hotter, faster, and with incredible precision. With 3 independent cooking zones and powerful searing, Brava cooks meals 2 to 4 times faster than traditional ovens. No preheating, no guesswork. And now for a limited time, enter Chew on This at checkout and get $200 off your Brava oven. Brava, pure light, perfect food. Shop now at brava.com.
Hi, this is Kate Delaney from America Tonight. The show kicks on at midnight, and I'm loving the overwhelming support in New Orleans. What a group of fantastic listeners here on WGSO 990 AM. Join me every morning to catch up on what I call the buzz in your backyard and mine. You'll hear some of the most interesting people on the planet from the world of business, politics, sports, and, well, just intriguing people with a story to tell. If you're around, give us a call. Don't worry, I'll spit out the number plenty of times on the air. Let's agree to meet at midnight right here on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans.
Hi, this is Susan Berniker bringing you a new show, Health Connections, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. Doctors, researchers, authors, and more. Join me Wednesdays at 5 o'clock right here on WGSO 990 AM.
Atomic batteries to power.
Now, everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
If you relate to these clips playing in the background, there you go. You will enjoy Everything Old is New Again right here on WGSO. Hi, this is Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New Again. Join us for the fun every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on WGSO.
Listen each weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr here on WGSO 990 AM.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
As usual, we'll be discussing and debating the hot topics.
And taking your phone calls.
You can find out who's right. Of course, that's me.
No, wait, Jeff, I'm never wrong. Remember, happy wife, happy life.
So we'll have a lot to talk about on He Said, She Said.
Listen to the Crew of Crew Air, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Chef Jamie Gwen here. Tune in for delicious conversation and let me feed your soul every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on WGSO 990 AM, the community voice of the Crescent City.
That's why I tell you, and I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if I didn't think it was worth one single try, I'd jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly.
All right. Yeah, what a great song, man. One of my favorites. What a great song. And thanks again, Jeff Gibson. And you can hear Jeff on Wednesday evenings at, what's the name of it? I just said it a moment ago. I'm blank. I just really enjoy that song. Desi Vegas on Harrison. Okay. Matthew.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've moved this discussion along to, and I think it's accurate, is we are having a horrible time with assimilation. But
well, that's one of the issues. And to be sure, it's an issue. The other one is that we have our own children who would like to get in these positions, into these work area positions, and they can't. They're locked out because they are expecting to earn the kind of money that Americans used to earn, but now they're being told that, no, you're not going to earn that kind of money anymore, and you're going to work the 996. You know what the 996 is?
9 to 9, a 12-hour day, 6 days a week.
That's the 996.
Wow.
It was how they used to do it in China until the Chinese government officially.
Now, let me ask
outlawed
this.
it.
This is really tough. I mean, I'm familiar, as you probably are, with the 40-hour work week, which was 8 to 5, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that, and this is something I haven't looked at, that if you're a young person right out of college and you apply to name a Fortune 500 company, that they expect you to work 996?
Well, they never come right out and say it. There's subtle ways that
Well, that's okay. I for the last couple of days, I have had a house guest, a young lady who I met about 8 or 10 years ago, and she is a activist promoting and defending the rights of people to be homeless. Okay. And one of her huge arguments is she's not always been homeless. She started off and had a really decent position with a corporation, but she said she was a corporate slave and thought she was treated as one. And we didn't talk 996, but that was essentially what she was saying. Every waking hour, and if she wanted to do better with the company, she had to work over, but never got paid overtime for the extra work. It was just, this is your salary, but we expect you to work your ass off.
That's the joy of being salaried.
Right. So, so I heard it, and she said, she called it corporate slavery. And I was fortunate that I did not suffer from that, because my expectation when I began practicing law was, this is not a 9-to-5 job.
No.
It's not. Some days, I mean, you're 12-hour days, for 3 weeks in a row. If you're in trial, I mean, you're just going and going and going. Okay. And so that might not be the job for you. That might not be the job for you. And many women, and
you're out of there for free.
Right. And I'll say many women who are brilliant lawyers. I mean, brilliant. I remember when I was in law school, that was a long time ago, but the women were at the top of the class. They were in law review, were brilliant. But then as we all started working, they wanted to have a family, they wanted to have children, and so forth and so on. And they could not work. There's no possible way they could work the 996. Now, we didn't call it that, but I accept what you're calling it. It's a good description. And so, yes, some professions do not have that. Now, the other choice that it seems to be that young people have is in labor.
Going to trades.
Going to trades, exactly.
There's more H-1B visas.
And if
you're competing with there.
Right, if you want to work 996, you get paid time and a half, overtime sometimes after 50, double overtime after 50, sometimes after 55, depending on what the contract says. But so you work those hours, but you're getting paid really well for it. And
labor in the skilled labor market haven't gone up markedly since.
Well, but if you're working the hours and you are in a union and the union has a good collective bargaining agreement, you're after 40 hours, you usually get time and a half. That means if you're working at $10 an hour,
you're going to get that any place that's not interested, where the principals aren't interested in going to jail.
Right. So you get $15 an hour there, and if you sometimes work more than 10 hours over 40, you go to double time, where it's $20 an hour. Now that was.
I'll give you an example. Just my situation. If I'm called in on the weekend because of the distance I have to travel, it's an automatic. Just for my travel there, it's an automatic time and a half. The actual work I do, I get paid double time. Similarly, if I'm on vacation and they have to get me back off of vacation, I get paid to travel and I get paid double time when I get there.
Okay, that sounds pretty reasonable.
I get overtime for everything over 40 hours worked, not necessarily 40 hours, as recorded.
You don't include travel in that, right? You don't include travel, right?
And then on top of that, too, like today I had to take my wife to the hospital.
Sure.
So obviously anything I work over.
Well, again, it depends. It also depends on the contract, your employment contract. In some employment contracts, you get a paid day off to assist with a family medical emergency. So it all depends on what it says. So, but here's the real point. And you are. This is a great example. Okay, you're in the trades. I know you're more elevated in your work, but
I'm the head stoker.
What's that?
I'm the head stoker on the ship of civilization.
Okay, the head stoker. Good. All right, so you're in that position. That's you're satisfied with that. That's good, huh?
It pays well, and the work is interesting.
Okay, so that's
the only time I'm dissatisfied with it is with the height of the summer because I'm noticing the heat more.
Okay, all right. Well, that's something that employers can't really do much about. That you're working in Louisiana, all right.
Right.
So the real question is here: should we be promoting? I'm going to keep what I'm going to say a secret because we got to take a break. I'll tell you at the next break. All right, we'll be back in a moment.
Are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion. The 17th Annual Oak Street Po' Festival, presented by Tony Sacheries, will be Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. More than 40 food vendors will serve over 100 versions of this city's iconic sandwich, along with an art market, VIP area, history panel, expanded kids zone, and sponsor activities. Live music on multiple stages will include George Porter Jr., Tony's Boys with Tony Hall featuring Ivan Neville, the New Orleans Legacy Coalition, and Rodney Weber. Please visit po'boyfest.com to purchase a wristband and for more information.
Hey folks, it's Jeff Cruier. I've been with WGSO for 17 years as host and now president and general manager. WGSO is a community-based radio station, a nonprofit, locally operated. We believe in cultivating local talent and emphasizing local programs. If you have an interest in hosting your own program, then we have some prime spots available for you. Take advantage of this great offer. Email me at jeff@wgso.com or call me at 504-669-6076. Come fulfill your radio dreams at WGSO.
Looking to make your business stand out in New Orleans? At Sir Speedy Signs, Print, and Marketing, we turn your big ideas into bold results. From eye-catching signs and banners to professional printing and smart marketing strategies, we've got everything you need to grow your business. We're local, we're fast, and we're focused on helping you shine. Visit us today in the CBD or online at SirSpeedyNOLA.com. That's Sir Speedy New Orleans, signs, print, marketing, and results that get noticed. From the CBD to the West Bank and Metairie, we are the community voice of the Crescent City.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Peters in Washington. The shutdown in U.S. history has officially ended, but the reopening isn't instantaneous. Correspondent Karen Chamas reports.
The disruption of the closure, clocking in at 43 days, ranged in the impact it had on people. Federal workers who were immediately and directly affected are returning to their jobs. Like disruptions will continue at some of the nation's airports. Some states say some recipients of food aid through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, received their full monthly benefits, but others may have to wait up to a week. 2 of the Smithsonian's museums reopened on Friday, and the rest will reopen by Monday. I'm Karen Chamas.
The Justice Department has sued to block California's new congressional map. Correspondent Ben Thomas reports.
On November 4th, California voters approved redrawn congressional boundaries that could give Democrats a shot at gaining 5 U.S. House seats. About a week and a half later, though, the Justice Department's filed a lawsuit challenging the new map, joining a case brought by the California Republican Party. Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom pushed hard for the new boundaries, saying it would counter a Republican-led effort in Texas backed by President Trump. 2 other Republican-led states, Missouri and North Carolina, have also redrawn their maps to boost GOP chances. But California's redistricting is the first and so far only effort being challenged by the Justice Department. I'm Ben Thomas.
Russia has launched a major missile and drone attack on Kyiv, killing 6 people and wounding at least 35, including a pregnant woman. A mixed day on Wall Street as the Dow is down by 309 points, the Nasdaq rose 30, the S&P 500 declined 3, and oil at $59.90 a barrel. More at townhall.com.
Dennis Prager here for AmFed Coin and Bullion. I've always been a strong believer in precious metals investment, and I've always been fascinated with rare coin collecting. But owning the wrong coins that only make dealers a lot of money can be catastrophic for your investment portfolio. AmFed Coin and Bullion specializes in taking people out of non-performing coin portfolios and turning them into gold, silver, or platinum bullion. They tailor a portfolio based on your goals and not what they want to sell you. You'll never experience scare tactics, misleading hype, or high-pressure sales from owner Nick Grovich and his very knowledgeable staff. They will evaluate your portfolio, show you how your coins have performed, and take the time to educate you on the ugly industry practices so that you can make an informed decision. Smart people can make very bad investments when they're under pressure and lack the facts. Call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. AmericanFederal.com.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
The Trump administration has announced trade frameworks with 4 Central and South American countries.
The White House says it has come to terms with Argentina, Ecuador, El Salvador, and Guatemala. The trade frameworks are aimed at boosting the ability of American companies to sell industrial and agricultural products in those countries. The deals haven't been finalized, but are expected to be signed within about 2 weeks.
That's White House correspondent Greg Cluxton. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon is planning to retire next year. He says McMillon down January 31st and replaced by John Furner, the head of Walmart's U.S. operations, the next day. President Trump's tariffs may soon start putting more money in Americans' pockets. The White House signaling commitments to the president's proposed $2,000 tariff checks for most Americans. On Wall Street, the Dow was off 309 points at the closing bell. With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
Been a really nice day. We're back to plenty of sunshine over the weekend each day. A few more clouds maybe into the picture's skyscape as we see temperatures warm up and continue to be above normal through early next week. Tomorrow, 70s after 50s in the morning and possibly patches of fog. Possibly seeing returning patches of fog tomorrow night and Sunday morning, where lows again will be 50s to low 60s in the afternoon. Sunday, partly sunny with highs of about low 80s. Ralph Sanji, WGSO. The Broadmoor Arts and Crafts Festival is celebrating 52 years of holiday cheer with a family fun day filled with amazing vendors, delicious food, handcrafted jewelry, unique holiday decor, perfect gifts for everyone on your list. Bring the kids for a winter wonderland, games, Santa, and a petting zoo from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Saturday, November 22nd. Admission only $3 at the Baton Rouge Broadmoor High School Arts and Crafts Festival, Goodwood Boulevard, Baton Rouge.
The views and opinions expressed during this show are those of the host and guests only. In no way do they represent the views, positions, or opinions expressed or implied of WGSO 990 AM or North Shore Radio Incorporated.
All right, New Orleans, welcome to the fifth inning of the Jack Clegg Show here on WGSO 990 AM. Also, WGSO.com, you can listen to the audio podcast or on YouTube, the Jack Clegg Show. Just a comment about it. And listen, you hate to do this, but my other singer, who is so good, and I'm not rejecting her for Jeff Gibson, but she wants to keep coming back. Did you hear she was just singing to us a few moments ago? Pat Benatar. We love Pat Benatar, and I don't not like Pat Benatar, but Jeff's here. So Patty Benatar, if you want to come visit and spend some time here, we'll have you record some things and you two can be on the show. Okay, that's an open invitation. All right, Matthew. Let me get to the meat of the matter, Matthew. Do we still have you? We might have lost you, Matthew. But I was going to try to get to the meat of the matter at hand. And I think he might be calling back now because we accidentally hung up on him. All right. Okay, Matthew. Sorry we hung up on you, or you dropped off, whatever happened. But I'm going to get to the meat of the matter. What I think the meat of the matter is. Okay. Immigration is always a topic that all of us like to talk about. You focused in on the B-1 visa plan, and I will just briefly describe it to our audience. This is where American corporations are able to hire well-educated, well-trained people overseas and bring them here to work in America. Okay? These are not trade jobs. These are generally jobs in upper intellectual requirements. Okay? You got to have a degree. You got to be smart. The computer businesses are in financial business in it, and that's it. Would you concur with that?
That's what it's sold to the American people as.
Right. Okay. So now, why would we in America be hiring more and more foreigners to do those jobs than Americans?
Well, one of the things that they make the claim is that Americans do not have the educational attainment that these foreign workers do.
Okay.
The Americans
you would not
say that is not true.
Who says it's not true?
The Americans who have gone to college and have obtained the education that supposedly these employers are looking for would say that that's not true.
Okay. Well,
so there are Americans who are sidelined because of this.
Okay.
And they were working at these tech jobs, but they wound up losing those jobs because of basically foreigners being imported in to do their jobs.
Okay. I was going to be looking at a more macro view of this. What you say could certainly be happening. I have not studied that. It certainly sounds like you could hire a foreigner for less than an American, because the foreigner working in Jakarta or Mumbai works at what might be the equivalent of a salary of $40,000, where the American wants to start off at 85 or 100. And again, those are just ballpark figures I'm throwing out. But I understand that. Okay. I'm looking at it a little differently. And that, what you just said to me, is something that needs to be addressed. It cannot be allowed in the discretion of the corporation to decide not to hire a qualified individual. It's kind of like affirmative action against U.S. citizens.
Right, affirmatively against the U.S. citizen.
Right, affirmatively against, meaning we're going to hire somebody who isn't an American who will do the work cheaper.
Right.
And supposedly with equivalent education or skills. Okay, so that that needs to be attacked. I'm 100% in favor of that.
Right.
My concern is this, and again, we're kind of dependent upon getting the right information from the government and
from the news media.
And the news media as well. Okay. I am convinced, though, that this is actually true. I am convinced that educational standards and attainment in America suck.
You would be correct.
Okay.
Here's the rub.
So
these people are going to American universities.
Okay. But just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The real question here, the big question that most Americans should be concerned about, okay, is this. Why are we allowing them to suck? Why are we allowing this to happen? Why? Because if we had, you know your friend Karl Marx and Frederick Engels, right? You know
I
who
just
they
had
are.
a beer with him yesterday.
Right. I know. I chit chat all the time. They wrote that wonderful dissertation on society called the Communist Manifesto. In that, and the Communist Party made this an absolute number one tenet of communism, and that is that families are not equipped to determine what is best for the state, for all of us. Families can be greedy, they can be wealthy, they can be mean, they can just help their own and discriminate against people that aren't in their family. All right.
Yes.
And the number one issue brought forward by your buddy Carl and Frederick was education. We need to remove the family from it, and they did.
Absolutely.
And they did. Okay. So now, 8 years later, after the revolution, we are looking at a different set of facts and circumstances. Okay. We have a system that is being held back by the family. Now, how could you say that, Jack? How can you say that?
Yeah, I am going to say that's a bizarre statement, but please clarify.
I shall. Number one, our education system. Let me give you an an example that is happening today in Nigeria. Jack, what the hell? You bring up Nigeria? How is this going to be relevant? Okay. In Nigeria, they're having a battle between teaching children in their mother tongue or teaching them in English. Okay.
Right, because that's an issue in Nigeria because it's a multi-tribal society.
Yes. Very much like the American that we now look at as opposed to what it was like 3 decades ago. And you can call them tribal or ethnic groups. You can do whatever. But there are ethnic groups here in America who are different, and they want to maintain their differences. And immigrants that come here that want to maintain their differences. That's why assimilation is not necessarily working. Okay? So what's happening in Nigeria is happening here. You can call it tribal, but it's the same thing. Rather than focus on English, and we have people that say, well, English is just for the white folk. English is not for everybody. And we have a patois that we want to speak. We want to speak what our grandparents speak, so forth, so on. So while we're doing that, other people are succeeding with their education, focusing on that.
Well,
but others are others
about the English language skills, but nonetheless.
Well, the same thing happens in math and science. In Nigeria, the argument that they should be taught in their mother language, not English, is that it takes too much time for them to learn English, and they're not learning and understanding the other facts in science and math and other things.
That sounds a lot like what goes on in the school, the education here in Jefferson Parish, where they don't teach the immigrant children English first, but they rather teaching these other languages.
I got to go to a break. We'll continue this in the next section.
Easy Pet Shop and Rescue is a non-profit volunteer-run rescue. We provide adoption services and care for homeless animals across the New Orleans metro area. We also offer pet supplies and grooming services at our downtown and Marigny locations. The shops are located at 839 Spain Street and 513 Dumaine Street and are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and noon to 6 on Saturdays, noon to 5 on Sundays. We can be found on the web at BigEasyPetShop.com. Support local animals in need by shopping and adopting with Big Easy Animal Rescue.
Hey, do you ever wonder who really listens to talk radio? Or even, who is this new Lisa and why are we going live with her? And what does it mean to be unscripted? Hey guys, my name is Lisa Leonardi and I am the new talk show host of Live with Lisa Unscripted. My show is about living our unique NOLA life with a touch of inappropriateness and a ton of side-splitting laughs to get you home every Monday at 4 p.m. here on WGSO 990 AM.
Listen each weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr here on WGSO 990 AM.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
It's pet trendologist Charlotte Reed. Listen to the latest pet trends with benefits on the Pet Buzz, airing every Saturday at 6 p.m. Join me as I talk all things pets, from animal health and wellness, money-saving tips, the newest pet products, celebrity pet gossip, breaking news, and more. Our expert guests are in the know and in the now. To learn more about our unique program, our guest, and me, your host, listen to the show on WGSO 990, the community voice of the Crescent City.
Don't get stuck in boring talk radio. Give it a much-needed splash of laughs and a little Southern Louisiana flavor with Implicit Bias Radio. I'm Kavan Bordelon. Join the crew and I each Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. as we give our thoughts on what's going down around the country. We'll crack open a fresh bottle of whiskey each week as we talk about what's swirling around in our heads and in the glasses. The Implicit Bias Radio Show, every Saturday morning, 7 to 9 a.m. on WGSO 990 AM.
Hey folks, this is Jeff Cruero. At WGSO 990, we're proud to be your community voice right here in New Orleans, bringing you local talk, real news, and the issues that matter most. But we can't do it without you. WGSO is a nonprofit, listener-supported station. Your donation helps keep independent radio alive and thriving. Go to WGSO.com and click donate. Every dollar counts. Thank you for standing with us and for supporting New Orleans radio. It speaks for you.
Hi, this is Rusty, owner of the Olive Branch Cafe. Join me on Tuesdays at 4 for the Best Bank Hour on WGSO 990.
All right, New Orleans. And Matthew, a few more seconds left. You know what volare means, right?
No, I do not. Why don't you tell me?
It means to fly. So this character who was singing that song was so happy. He was in love. He was so happy it felt like flying. Anyway, there you go for a trivia contest. It's to fly. Anyway, so let's talk about this last issue, and I got to get to some other callers.
Cover education real quickly, and then one more thing. Then I'm going to have to go pick up food.
Oh, of course. We don't want to interrupt with food.
Education. How do you feel about 600,000 Chinese students attending our elite university?
I'm not happy about that.
Neither am I, but I'm thinking to myself there may be a positive.
I'm not happy. I think there should be a different system in place. But here's the question. And I understand the advantage of having educated someone in our system if the system is actually transmitting American values.
Or American culture, yes.
But it's not.
Well, it's not going to do that because
it's not.
They're going to learn real communism in American university.
Right. So
and take it back to China.
For that reason, until I am satisfied that our educational institutions are American institutions and not institutions led or run by people who are influenced by the Eastern European communists who were set free by President Reagan, I'm not in favor of it. Okay. What was your last issue? Go ahead.
Housing. How do you feel about 50-year mortgages to make housing?
I heard about that. I don't think I don't want to spend any time with that because I don't think that's going to happen.
But even if it does happen, I don't see people being anxious to take one up.
Right.
But nonetheless, these issues are driving a wedge in MAGA, and Donald Trump needs to do something to get out in front of it.
Sure.
I said, if there's good reasons for it, I think he can level with us. So far,
to me, it's pretty simple.
An oligarch.
It's pretty simple. If you want to have a 50-year mortgage, you need more than mom and dad on the signing document. You need to have kids. You need to have heirs. You need to have others. Okay? If you want to buy a farm and make it a family farm, and this is our decision, and we're going to stay and work on a family farm and so forth, I don't have an objection to that because everybody's on the team and everybody's doing it. But if that's the institutional position of banks to do it to individuals, I'm not in favor of that at all. It's an abuse. It's an abuse. All right, Matthew, thanks for calling. Let's get to who do we have? Rusty. Rusty, how are you, sir?
I'm falling asleep. Anyway,
you're falling asleep?
Yeah, falling asleep. You snaps. You went on an hour plus. But anyway, that's okay because I didn't call it for late inning. So, but let me just tell you this.
Go ahead.
Let me just tell you this. Donald Trump has sold us out. You can make all excuses. No, let me finish. Let me finish, Jack. You've been talking an hour and a half. Let me finish on this.
I was pretending I had a radio show. Go ahead.
When you came back from the 5 o'clock break, I assume you and Matthew were talking about. I left the room for about a minute or so, and I assume you were talking about the conversation that maybe Laura Ingraham had with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, this whole thing, I don't know if you were or not. It sounded like you were, though. But the problem is Donald Trump has not kept his word about deporting these people. You want to stop us? You want to stop this all this assimilation or non-assimilation?
Yeah.
You get rid of the people you promised that you said you were going to get rid of. He's not going to make 20 million out of here. He's not going to make it. He's not even going to make half. He's almost been in office 1 year. He's gone fishing for criminals and not for illegals. He has sold us out, and other people know.
Well, come on. Wait a minute.
No, I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not going to be manipulated here. He has sold us out to other people in other countries so that he can make this a super country, but at the expense of the American people.
Okay. Can I ask a question? Are you suggesting, and if you are, I understand where you're coming from. Are you suggesting that he has a deal with employers permitting them to hire illegal aliens to do work at less price?
Let me just say it this way. Jeff Carrera said it. I was totally surprised by this a few days ago. He said he's running this country like a business. This is not a business. We all reveled in the idea that a businessman was taking over his country, but we didn't realize he was going to sell us out, and he did so.
Okay.
Corporations. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, here's what my I mean. Are you? See, I may have been tricked. I may have been duped. When I heard that Trump was going to focus the initial wave of deportations on criminals, I thought this was kind of a plan to affect the least opposition by Americans. These people are criminals. They shouldn't be here. They're going to hurt us, et cetera, et cetera. So I did not believe that this was a bad idea. And it actually, to me, it made sense because.
Let me ask you, Jeff. What do you mean the least people? Who are you referring to? I'm not sure.
Okay.
What people he was not going to deport?
When Trump was elected, he was not elected 80-20. The election was about 53-47, something like that, even though this woman Harris was horrible. Okay, it wasn't an 80-20 thing. So he realized he had people in state after state after state after state who may not have shared the anti-immigration belief that he had. Okay, so and that many have, and you do, and I do, and others.
That was his main issue.
Right.
That was the thing that he said in all his rallies, and got people who are independents like myself and Democrats even to vote for him.
Sure, he did, but the election was not 80-20. The election wasn't 80-20.
80-20.
What's that?
If not for that issue, she could have won.
Well, that's true too. But remember, okay, on that issue, okay, he may have done really well on that issue, okay? But when I explained it, I said, if the Republican Party is to prosper, and if he's going to be a success, it's going to be. I got to leave 5 seconds. We'll be back in a few minutes. Can you stay on for the next section?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rusty.
Hi, this is Martina McBride. When I'm on stage performing, it takes a team of talented people from all walks of life to make the show a success. I couldn't do it without everyone's help. When we embrace diverse backgrounds and work together as one, there's no challenge or problem too big to overcome. Our strength lies in our diversity.
This public service message has been brought to you courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, in our 11th season as host of Breakfast with the Bayou Bengals every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 live at Mahoney's Po' Boys in New Orleans.
Round these parts,
Pass will go out there and it's intercepted.
the game of football
Hammered back at the 29-yard line.
is all
Caught at the 15-yard line. 10, 5.
the rage.
Touchdown, Louisiana.
It means everything. It really does.
This is your radio home for Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns football.
Catch all the action of Ragin' Cajuns football this season, only on the community voice of the Crescent City, WGSO 990 AM.
Get up early on Saturdays and talk LSU athletics with us. Tiger Rag Radio every Saturday morning, 5 to 7 on WGSO, the community voice of the Crescent City.
Get ready, boys and girls, and all you flashback freaks. Here's what we promised you. It's what New Orleans loves best, oldies, but not the kind that you can dance to. It's the voices of talk radio hosts back 25 years ago when it all began. Your old commercials, newscasts, PSAs, but most of all, the voices of Larry Regan, Ed Butler, Keith Rush, Knuckle Jeff, even threw in Jeff Coulier there. Callers back then also were the celebrities. So be sure to join us Saturdays at 11 a.m. with Jude Booth.
Caldy and the Blonde.
Radical Radio for Radical Times.
Wednesdays at 4 on WGSO.
Follow us on X at Caldy Blonde.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Andrew Greenstein. After securing a grand jury indictment against former Louisiana House Speaker Clay Schexnayder for allegedly stealing a rare state artifact, now the challenge for Attorney General Liz Murrill is to get a conviction in court. In a statement, Murrill said public officials do not get to keep Louisiana property. Legal analyst Franz Borgard hopes Murrill spoke with Schexnayder before seeking the indictment.
And, look, just because you reach out doesn't mean that you can resolve it, but at least you can open up that dialogue, that conversation. I don't think that she did that in this instance.
A major milestone in St. Tammany Parish as the $56 million I-12 widening project is completed months ahead of schedule. Rodney Mallett with DOTD says the freeway was widened in the Covington-Mandeville area.
Now you have 3 lanes in each direction from LA 59 to LA 1077.
Mallett says with the growth in St. Tammany Parish, the volume along that stretch of roadway has increased significantly in just the last few years. LRN.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Louisiana, rep your code and play the area code scratch off from the lottery. Top prize is a whopping $50,000. 5 codes, 5 tickets, big wins. Pick up the area code scratch off today. Bring on the holiday cheer and play $5 home for the holidays scratch off from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. The perfect stocking stuffer. Pick up $5 home for the holidays today. Louisiana Lottery, giving you a reason to smile. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
WGSO is proudly supported by Holidays New Orleans Style, presented by French Quarter Festivals Inc. and NewOrleans.com. This December, enjoy free concerts at St. Louis Cathedral and Woldenberg Park. Don't miss Leroy Jones and New Orleans' Finest on December 3rd, and the Christmas concert on December 21st. Then, ring in the new year at the New Orleans Eve concert on December 31st. Details at fqfi.org/holidays.
Pop quiz, New Orleans. What are the 2 things you're never supposed to talk about in mixed company? If you answer James Carville as an LSU fan and the genius of giving minimum age earning janitors the keys to central lockup, wrong. But if you put your I'm a proud Catholic New Orleanian thinking cap on and answered religion and politics, winner, winner, Popeye's chicken dinner. And the grand prize is I return to Morning Drive where I belong at 6 to 7 a.m. here on WGSO and simulcast on CrusadeChannel.com.
Now, everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
If you relate to these clips playing in the background,
There you go. You will enjoy Everything Old is New Again right here on WGSO. Hi, this is Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New Again. Join us for the fun every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on WGSO.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, every Thursday at 4 p.m. live on WGSO Radio New Orleans, talking Saints football in our 16th season of In the Red Zone. We'll be live at Premier Nissan at 6636 Veterans Boulevard, where Metairie meets Kenner, for another exciting season of Saints football live on WGSO Radio.
Oh, the shark bait has such teeth, dear, and it shows them pearly white.
All right, Rusty.
Yeah.
So, Rusty, do you like Mac the Knife?
Well, to be honest with you, when you played it earlier, you know what Mac the Knife's all about, huh?
Oh, yeah. Pretty rough.
He's a killer.
It's pretty rough. It
He's
sure
a
is.
murderer.
It is. It sure is.
And so you like that song? You like the song about the murder?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave that alone.
So you better not screw with me because I got friends, buddy.
Oh no, God help me.
I'm joking with you.
Listen, Jack. Listen, I figured I had to get my point across.
Sure.
I hear all these people, including Jeff Cure and other people, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Kelly, other people, Laura Ingraham, all dancing around. They all want to stay loyal to Trump. But they're saying Magna is being split. Well, who's splitting it the most? Trump, who tells his supporters because they want to let the Epstein stuff out, we don't need them anymore. I don't want you anymore. This is what he tells his people. This is what he does. He doesn't care. He figures he's got one term left. This is it. And he don't care. And he doesn't give a damn about what other conservative people think. He doesn't give a damn. They've been around as conservatives for a lot longer than him. He was a Democrat for years.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's doing something that, what's his name? Biden let him in 20, according to Bill O'Reilly. Trump says 25 million will let in. And he's not going to even get rid of maybe a million or two. He's not going to do anything. He's going fishing for people who are hardened criminals. Most of these people are not hardened criminals who came in the country.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know this. I know that he's gone city by city and he's trying to not only remove immigrants with criminal histories, et cetera, but he's trying to fight crime in those cities as well. He's getting pushed back everywhere. All right. So,
well, he always does that. He talks about these things for months in advance before he does anything. He doesn't do anything. He just sits down there.
Well,
he did that in his first time. He don't do anything. All the places that you're talking about, he hasn't sent anybody to Chicago except the ICE, the people to protect ICE, just the ICE agents.
Right.
He's not doing anything. He's not getting rid of the mass
he's got some legal constraints. We have a doctrine, posse comitatus, in the United States. You cannot send U.S. troops into a city to be the military. We don't do that. And he can't do that. You can't expect him to.
Well, then he shouldn't have ran.
Well, wait a minute.
He must have knew this beforehand. He must have knew it when he ran.
Knew
he was
what?
telling everybody what he was going to do.
Well, he wasn't.
He
Okay.
was saying if this court allows me, he was going to do stuff. He is not even wanting to do it.
All right.
He's inviting people in of other countries who have some kind of skills
Right.
over American people. That's how bad he is.
Well, and so as bad as he is, okay, here's the issue here. Now, we've had for a long time a B1 visa program. You heard me talk about it. You know what it's for. Okay. Do you think our education system is what it should be?
No, but I like
Okay.
what you said.
Where do we rank?
Like you said, I still think that we should look out for our own. Maybe it's not what it should be. I'll say it's not.
I'm in agreement.
But we shouldn't be.
Well, if
denying
our own, we're looking out for our own, but if our own cannot perform well, we got to look elsewhere.
This is not about only performance, Jack.
Sure it
This
is.
is about taking care of your own. This is about, you said something earlier in the first half, well, a long time ago, a half an hour ago, that families are getting in the way. No, families are not getting in the way. If anything happened in this country, is they put aside the family for formal education. And that's what's destroying this country. Just the idea of non-character education. We can't put anything before family.
I'm not following you,
Families
Rusty.
come first. What's that?
I'm not following you. The point I made was
earlier
real
that
simple. In the Soviet Union, under the Communist Manifesto, which they adopted, the government would decide who got education. Okay? In America, we don't do that. In America, we have public education and private. Okay. So if your family has money, you can afford to go to a private school. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're public, okay, what happens? We know that our test results have been a disaster. At one time, we were the top five countries in education. In my lifetime, in your lifetime, when you were a young man, that's where we were. Today, we're in the 40th. We're like 42nd, 43rd, depending if it's English or literacy or mathematics or science. We're way down there.
Right.
So
yeah, I guess what you're saying, and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
Sure.
What you're saying is that because other people have better education, we should say, tough luck, Americans, and that's it. Come on in and replace what otherwise would be Americans.
Well,
so you're putting money.
What you're talking about. Okay, let's be real about this. How long will it take for us to fix our educational program?
I have no idea.
Let's say a generation. Would it be insane to say a generation?
I could say it'd be taking more than a generation.
Okay, but I'll be optimistic.
You can't keep letting these people in. You can't keep letting.
Okay,
other
hold on.
people in
Okay,
to
hold
replace
on.
our people.
So
Go ahead.
If we wanted to solve the education problem and bring it up to the standards that it once was at, okay, let's just compromise. It'll take 20 years. Okay, just let's say that. I don't even think we could do it in 20 years, but let's say we could do it in 20 years.
I don't think so either. No.
Okay, well, let's say we could. What do we do in the meantime about our need to compete with the rest of the world?
We don't worry about the rest of the world. That's what we're worried about too much. We're always worried about this one and that one. Right now, let me just say this. This is going to be real fast. I'm not going to spend a lot of time.
Okay.
He's complaining about the rare earth thing.
Yeah, minerals. Yeah.
We're even dependent on China for the rare earth stuff. But this guy was in office before Biden. He could have dealt with the rare earth thing. So in the meantime, he's got to keep depending on he's got to keep depending on China.
So let me ask you this. Do you think Trump is a king?
No, I don't think he's a king, but I think that
I don't think he is either. So the changes that you want to have happen. You don't think I'm the only.
What I'm saying is very simple. He's retreating from his promise.
See, I think
it's not that complicated. He's not a king.
Okay,
but he's
so
retreating from the
how
promise he told
long would it take Trump? How long would it take Trump to get rid of the 25 million, or let's say it isn't 10 million illegal aliens? How long would it take? Have any idea?
If he's intent to do it, despite the possibility of being impeached, he could do it by the end of his term.
Why are you raising impeachment?
No, because I think that once he tries to do this, once he throws the net in, they're going to try to impeach him.
Which net are you talking about? The posse comitatus when he sends the military to different cities?
Oh yeah, the Democrats are going to try to impeach him. Once
Okay,
he's
so
determined to get rid of all these people.
he's not going in that direction. What's he doing? He's doing what you said he's doing.
Going fishing. He's going fishing for one fish at a time.
The
One
criminals,
illegal
the
at a time
criminals,
who's
right?
got a bad
To
record,
get
and he's letting
and
all the others alone.
okay, all right. So, I mean,
So,
do you think if he's doing that, okay, instead of sending the military into New Orleans,
Yes.
you have a problem with that, or would you like the military here?
Well, he's never said. He said that a month ago and never happened. But no, I want first of all him to deal with both issues, the crime issue, but mainly to get rid of the people that the SOB Biden, who should be in prison, let in, just threw the doors open. His thing was to undo all that.
I don't think anybody, including Trump, I don't think any of them want all those people here. However, I think he's found that this is a much more difficult task than what he promised.
We gave him that excuse. Every time in the first 4 years, I've heard people saying he's getting bad advice from his relatives. He's getting bad advice.
No, I'm not
from
saying that. I'm just saying.
He's almost 80 years
Did you
old.
think when Trump was elected that there would be organized groups of people protecting illegal immigrants and attacking ICE officers?
I knew that was going to happen. Sanctuary, but that was his main thing. He was going to do it despite their resistance. He was not going to
So
let
the
them
bad
get
guy
their way.
is Trump and not the governors of those states that are pursuing.
No, those other people, those people are worse. Are worse. But Trump is not keeping his word about what he said he was going to do.
So
and a lot of the MAGA, so-called MAGA people are seeing that. And we're saying enough. Either you keep your word or your support is going to be very limited.
Well, okay. I got 10 seconds. I got to go. Why don't you hang on? I
Go
got
ahead.
one more thing to say at the end of the show. Why don't you hang on?
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Thanks.
Are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance. Say hi, guys. When I adopted them, I discovered that they both have incredible personalities. Chance's sole purpose in life is to love and to be loved. Frankie is a little bit of a scoundrel and always entertaining. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
The 17th annual Oak Street Po' Boy Festival, presented by Tony Sacheries, will be Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. More than 40 food vendors will serve over 100 versions of this city's iconic sandwich, along with an art market, VIP area, history panel, expanded kids zone, and sponsor activities. Live music on multiple stages will include George Porter Jr., Tony's Boys with Tony Hall featuring Ivan Neville, the New Orleans Legacy Coalition, and Rodney Weber. Please visit po'boyfest.com to purchase a wristband and for more information.
Tired of waiting for dinner? Meet Brava, the revolutionary countertop oven that uses pure light to cook your food hotter, faster, and with incredible precision. With 3 independent cooking zones and powerful searing, Brava cooks meals 2 to 4 times faster than traditional ovens. No preheating, no guesswork. And now for a limited time, enter Chew on This at checkout and get $200 off your Brava oven. Brava, pure light, perfect food. Shop now at brava.com.
This is Kate Delaney from America Tonight. The show kicks on at midnight, and I'm loving the overwhelming support in New Orleans. What a group of fantastic listeners here on WGSO 990 AM. Join me every morning to catch up on what I call the buzz in your backyard and mine. You'll hear some of the most interesting people on the planet from the world of business, politics, sports, and, well, just intriguing people with a story to tell. If you're around, give us a call. Don't worry, I'll spit out the number plenty of times on the air. Let's agree to meet at midnight right here on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans.
Need signs, printing, or marketing? How about unique New Orleans souvenirs and even Hal the Cajun Lady accent seasoning? At Sir Speedy Signs Print and Marketing, we're more than a print shop. We're your one-stop destination in the CBD. From bold business signage to memorable gifts and local flavor, we've got everything to make your brand or your visit unforgettable. Come see us downtown or online at SirSpeedyNewOrleans.com. Sir Speedy Signs, souvenirs, and seasonings with a Cajun kick.
That's why I tell you, and I can't deny you. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if I didn't think it was worth one single try, I'd jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly.
All right. Again, thanks, Jeff Gibson. All right, Rusty.
Yes, let me say something about that song. That's one of my favorite Frank Sinatra songs.
Good. I'm glad I did something right today. That's good.
No, but listen, he said while he was running for office, if he doesn't get rid of these people, the country will fall and collapse. If that's not reason to put everything on the line, if he really meant it, and you don't know what this guy means. He's one way and another every couple of days. Terrorists, non-terrorists, this and that. And the thing is, but if he meant that, and he said that many, many, many times, he's got to put everything on the line. And if he doesn't, then a lot of people like myself, and I'm hearing a lot of other people. I heard Jeff say a few days ago, again, a list of things he didn't agree with Donald Trump with. But the people that support Trump are very shy about not coming against him because they believe they will lose support on their shows. They will lose support in other ways. So they're very careful to walk the line and not say much. I'm just a call on a radio show. I'm going to say it.
Sure. And the only reason I'm pushing back against you is educational, okay? And that's this.
Mm-hmm.
What did Trump do in the first 4 months of since February when he was inaugurated? February, March, April, May, June. What did he do?
This term?
Yeah. First 4 or 5 months.
He did a number of things. He did a number of things. A lot of them I approve of.
Right. Okay. All right. And what he did overseas has been terrific. I saw, when I was born, 1955, don't remember. First president, I remember we had John F. Kennedy. We then had a variety. We had Nixon. Then we had Reagan in there. We had all these other people who did a lot of things. Reagan did a fantastic thing with communism. Okay.
Yeah.
Of all of them, I am seeing so much effort put forward by Trump. Okay. Now, the fact that you say it was wrong for him to focus on the criminal illegal aliens. We can argue that one way or the other. Okay.
He didn't do that in the beginning.
What?
He didn't do that in the beginning.
No, he didn't do it at the beginning.
He said all of them have to go. The system, the nation cannot handle.
But the problem is, with saying that, I'm not defending it, but I'm saying, how do you do it? Is it your belief that he should have taken every military soldier we had, because we didn't have the police to do it, right? That was purposely done in after George Floyd, so we couldn't rely on the police to do anything. In each city, it's smaller and smaller and smaller. So we didn't have the police. What'd you expect them to do? Send out military?
To nationalize the guard in all these cities.
Well,
and gather these people. And the ones that are illegal, they're claiming this is racial bias. You just say, go home. You don't lock up everybody, but you throw the net in. You don't go piece by piece. You're not. He's not going to do.
He's not a king.
what he said he was going to do.
Okay. Anyway, all right. I think we're going to have to disagree on that position, because if I was asked, as a lawyer and I hope a thinking man, whether you should send the military, nationalize the National Guard in every state, make it the U.S. military, and then sig them on all the illegal aliens,
Yes.
I would say you can't.
That was the impression he said he was going to do.
Okay.
That's what he said. And if he said it one last time, because I'll let you go finish your show on your own. He said if it doesn't happen, because the stress and everything else on the system in America, the country will collapse. And that means every poor person, particularly poor person, is going to be hurt more than anything else, because these people are putting such stress on our system. As he said, the country will go down if we don't get rid of it.
Okay, what's the worst thing that's happened to poor people in his administration?
What's the worst thing? That he let these people stay here. That's the worst thing.
How about the Democrats deciding that we're not going to give SNAP cards to people? SNAP benefits.
No, I think that's terrible too.
Sure it is.
But,
and there's just a whole list of things.
I'm not siding
and the
with the
final thing
Democrats.
I'm going to say is, do you think Trump has to take advice from lawyers about what he wants to do?
No, but the more people that speak out. When he spoke about the COVID and his crowds, the people booed him. The people booed him because they didn't want the COVID vaccine to being forced on them. And they booed him, and he got the message. And we need to send the message out that he's got to do more, otherwise he's not going to do beans.
Well, he's not going to be reelected anyway because he can't run. That's one. Number two, and really very important, if he would have tried to nationalize the National Guard, make it part of the U.S. military, I'm afraid the Supreme Court would say no. And they'd be right.
He's gotta try.
They would be right.
He's got to try. If he believes what he said, if he believes the things that he said, and I'm wondering about that too. If he said it just to get elected. If he believes the things, he's got to try. This whole idea that stop him every little wink, every little this, that ain't good enough.
Well, we're going to have to disagree because I've looked through the history of presidents and I've lived this and I paid attention. I've never seen anybody work as hard as he has. Now, that doesn't mean I agree with all of his decisions, but the effort is there.
We've never had 25 million people.
We also
come
never
in the
had
country.
federal district judges go rogue as they are. Explain that. How are they doing that?
Put everything on the line. He's got to put everything on the line to turn this around.
You mean you want him to start a civil war?
If it means that, yes, because we're going to lose the country anyway.
Well, I'm not
We're
in
going to lose
agreement.
the country.
Okay, Rusty,
like I said,
appreciate
he
the
made
call.
those
You raised some really good issues. Thank you, sir. All right. All right. It looks like we're almost. We got 1 minute left. Wow. What do I say? That was interesting. I don't think a civil war is the best way to end our country or deal with this problem. I think it can be dealt with. I think it will. I think he now is in office. How many months? Oh my God. From February to November. I don't know. Is that 10 months? Yeah, 10 months. I think he will continue to work hard because that's his nature. I don't think he intentionally lied. I don't think it's a good idea to nationalize our military police. If anything, we need a bigger ICE force because these guys know how to do it and they do it well. So that's what we got. Next Friday. Great show.
We provide adoption services and care for homeless animals across the New Orleans metro area. We also offer pet supplies and grooming services at our downtown and Marigny locations. The shops are located at 839 Spain Street and 513 Dumaine Street and are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and noon to 6 on Saturdays, noon to 5 on Sundays. We can be found on the web at BigEasyPetShop.com. Support local animals in need by shopping and adopting with Big Easy Animals.